Are you okay? Just taking awkward.
Oh, Melanie,
Pretty
thank you for
cool,
sharing
huh?
that because I am so excited to let you guys know that our unit is going to be one of the very, very first electric Cadillacs in all of Northern California. And so I talked to the company and I actually got to talk to the gentleman from General Motors was there. And I didn't recognize him. He was a suit and his big, long, pointy beard. And he was quite a super sweet guy, but I had so many questions. I'm like, okay, so how does the charging work? And where do I charge? And do I have to get something installed in my house? And I said, I don't want to have range anxiety. He goes, everybody does that when they're new at electric cars. It is, but it is slick inside. It almost looks like a little, well, to me, it looks like a spaceship. Probably not to everyone else, but it's very cool. And so, yeah, so it'll be here at Christmas. It'll be here in December. So it's gets
I'm excited.
300.
I may drive up for that.
Well, we're gonna have a party when it gets here. I want to throw a party because it's going to be just super crazy. I know that Clayton Pioneer will do a splash on it. So, but I got to actually pass because we earned the Cadillac really early June. Like we earned it 3 weeks early. And I called the company. I said, any way I can get the electric? And they go, oh, we can't do that, Diane, unless you want to requalify for 3 later months. And I says, what's that mean? She goes, well, we can just put you down from April to September. I said, I'm in. So we don't even really have to do, we had such a strong May and June that we don't even really have to do a ton. It's just, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to have. And so I found supercharging stations, which I didn't know what that meant, but they charge like super fast. So I called a friend of mine who's in outside sales for an insurance company, and she says, oh, Diane, I go stir crazy. So I just work in my car. And I go, I do that too. I take my Cadillac and I sit in parking lots like Trader Joe's, Target, and Costco, roll my window down, have a cup of coffee, and I'll sit in my car for 2 hours and work because people will literally walk up to my car and ask me for a business card. And she goes, I do the same thing, but no one asks me for my business card. Well, she's a white Cadillac. And I said, do you love the car? And she goes, I would buy this car again in a heartbeat. And so there's charging stations at Sun Valley Mall. There's the superchargers everywhere. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go sit in parking lots, pretend I'm charging my car. And yeah, it's going to be fun. So congratulations to our Dynamite unit. It's our 16th or 17th, I can't remember, but it's 16th or 17th Pink Cadillac, and I am incredibly grateful. Grateful to be the leader of such incredible women. So thank you for that. And Melanie, thank you for finding that video. I don't know where you found that, but that was super cool. Okay, so let's take it away. Let's do some reco. Lori, are you in charge of recognition?
No, no, we like you doing it.
Okay, then. All right. So what I need is in the chat. I need you guys to type. Let me get my pom-pom here. Since I took it out of my suitcase, I had rubber bands around it. Now it's all fluffed up. Okay, type in the chat because some of you were at seminar. Type in the chat though. Total sales for the week. How many new faces, directors included? Total sales, new faces. Um, Anybody that you shared the career opportunity with, even if she didn't decide to join yet, did you do any shares? And did you have anybody add to your team? So within the last week, the last 7 days, type in your sales. I want to know, did you sell? Did you do any new faces, sales faces, sharing appointments, adding a team member? Um, and while you guys are typing that, I will tell you, I got a phone call. She's not on here yet, but I got a phone call from a gal who was a customer of mine for a brief time, then joined Mary Kay. Bad timing. She lost her job. She had an issue with a kid, just like everything was crazy. So she reached out to me and she said, hey, am I allowed to come back to Mary Kay? I said, you are. And she said, well, my life has changed. I have time to do it now. And she's bilingual. She goes, I work at a school where all the other moms speak Spanish. I said, well, what do you speak? She goes, I speak Spanish too. And I said, well, then there you go. And so she came over today and I let her smell the perfume and she was flipping out over all the fragrance. And she walked out of here and she said, oh, I can earn my pink ring. She goes, I'll have all those items sold within a couple of days. And I said, okay. And you know what? It's so much mindset. So please put in the chat. Good for you, Lisa. 250, 261. Was that to a new customer, Lisa, or was that to somebody who you've already sold to before? I'm curious. New client or new. Nice. Yahoo. Love that. So you guys just never know. So always realize that there are women out there looking for opportunity. There's also women out there looking for just discounts. There's women who just want a community. They not just a community, they want a community. They want to be a part of something. So please type in the chat and we'll write all that down and we'll recap at the end. So type in your sales, any faces, any bookings, any sharing appointments that you did, pink possibility chat kind of thing. And then if you added any new team members. So, and I'll do a quick shout out to Sherry Tully, who added a local gal who is beautiful, who's bilingual. She lives here in Concord, and Sherry, of course, lives on the East Coast. So we'll be doing her kickoff. We're gonna do two little kickoff parties for her. So type all of that in the chat, which is super exciting.
Sandy had some reorders and a sharing appointment, so
Nice,
congratulations.
nice. Yeah, and I don't know if Carrie's gonna make it. Carrie was feeling kind of yucky, so I don't know if she's gonna be able to jump on. She has the COVID from the, I don't know if she got it from the convention or something, but somebody was breathing on everybody. So,
Thanks,
okay,
Hilda.
I was going to say something. I was like, well, we were on a cruise for 3 weeks, but maybe 5 people wore masks, but gratefully we didn't come home sick at all.
good.
And I thought that was a miracle. But number two is having reorders when I got home without even making phone calls was great.
Yep. You know,
But
and that's
now,
so fun when you're on a trip and all of a sudden your phone is blowing up. And I didn't check my phone a lot because I'm in the convention center listening to speeches and taking pictures and stuff. And I look at my phone, it says, you have 9 new text messages. And I'm looking at them and my family knew where I was. So I knew it wasn't them. And it's like customers going, hey, can I come by tomorrow and pick up a bunch of product? I'm like, well, I'm not there, but I'll be back in a week. What do you need? And so, like, I bet I have three, four, five, six, $700 in reorders
wow,
just from the time I was gone. And so,
that's
Sandy,
great.
you're right. When you take good care of your customers, they won't want any other consultant. They're going to want you. And so
No,
spoil them.
I'm ready to get going again
Good for
more
you.
and more.
Well, I want to challenge each and every one of you to add as a goal 10 new skincare customers a month. 10 in a month, okay? Which is adding less than 3 in a week. So that's like adding 2.5 skincare customers in a week. And I know you can do that. And the reason why skincare customers is because when the holidays come, those are your true blue, love you, they'll be with you forever, right, Melanie and Laura? I mean, your skincare customers are the ones that truly pave your future. Yes, CC cream customers and charcoal mask customers are great, but it's the ones on skincare that are going to give you that consistent reorders and the consistent business. So that's why I'm working really diligently. I printed out my PCP list. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. It was a little come to Jesus meeting when I thought, why are these people not all in skincare? Because I was like, she buys makeup and charcoal mask. She buys microderm and charcoal mask and I makeup remover. Like, or they bought repair from me once, but that was 18 months ago. Well, the set lasts a long time. It doesn't last 18 months. So anyway, so it's about getting them on skincare and we'll be talking about that in a little bit. So, before we get into announcements and an event stuff, I wanted anybody who went to seminar to share a little bit. And I have Sherry Tully on here, and she's a North Carolina girl. Seminar was right in her back door, which was super, well, 5 hour drive, but still closer than our 2 airplane rides. So, I would love to have anybody who went to seminar share. So, Sherry, I'm going to let you go first and tell us, like, I know it was your very first seminar. So, tell us how it was for you, and then what's the one thing that you heard that either impacted you or you're going to implement? Oh, you know what, you guys? I am recording this. Good. Never mind.
I really got a lot out of seminar. A couple of the things that were shared was there's in pain, there's power, in fear, there's faith, in comfort, there's commitment. Those were some really strong ways that I needed to really look at my going forward and building my business and not being afraid and really trying to work hard at um, just pushing through when life gives you the negativities, you know. And one of the things that was talked about was getting people on skincare. So I did order a bunch of sample kits, and I'm seeking out the 10 people to be able to do the sample kits or the travel kits so that I can move forward and get more people on skincare. So I have those reorders coming in.
Nice.
It's been kind of exciting. And one of the highlighted, one of the things, hold on one second. I had it all thought out before.
Who's
When
HB?
when you show up in faith, God shows up in power.
Mm,
You know, that was one of the ones. And then I hope whatever lies that come to you, Jesus can reveal what's true. And it says, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will open, Matthew 7:7. And, a lot of it, the stuff that I struggle with sometimes is, am I good enough? Can I do this? Can I make this happen? And when you listen to all of these people, they're like, build a bigger dream, build a bigger why. Why are you in this business? Why are you wanting to move forward? And that's what's gonna build that dream. And going to seminar, really listening and watching all those new directors cross that stage, and they did it in 30 days. It's like, what? It's riding the wave. It's very important, because you get people that are underqualified, and it makes sense now. I think that's why sometimes our peeps, went through it like 6 or 7 times trying to hit DIQ. Missing the second month of DIQ was just felt like such a failure to me. But then when I went to conference, it was like a lot of them didn't hit it the first time because they didn't understand what they had in front of them. And that's the same thing with doing the MK connections, understanding, going back through and getting the positives and getting the confidence to get through all these different things, and getting new understanding is really important. So I pulled a bunch from so many different heaps. It was amazing.
Thank you for sharing that, Sherry. And I think what you said, Gloria Mayfield Banks, you've heard of her, I'm sure. She retired as the #1 national globally. She submitted DIQ 3 times. First time went 1 month, then she resubmitted next time, then she had to take 2 months off. She goes, I had to get my act together. I had to see a lot more faces. And then the third time, she's not only went in, but she broke a company record. So she went from not doing enough to exceeding what anybody else had ever done. So it's not where you start, it's where you finish.
Yeah.
So,
And the social media, we went to 2 social media ones, and I plopped myself in all the DIQ stuff anyway, because I knew I'm going to be back there very quickly. But um, not being afraid of social media, I think that we get so much training in the company through the different places. And it was funny because I was in the class and I was like, wow, I have all these people that have asked me to be their friends, and I never really paid attention to it. And then I posted a picture at the convention, and all of a sudden I got like 30 hits. I'm like, what just happened? I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball here when it comes to social media, but I mean, there's so many people that want to support you in your dreams. You just have to put the dreams out there. So, yeah, it's been good. I mean, everybody here thinks that I already have a pink Cadillac. I'm like, where'd you get that from? I'm not there yet.
Claim it, baby, claim it.
I know. It's funny though. Anyway.
well, I'm glad you went to see the bigger picture. And I know on awards night to see the queens crowned and to hear their speeches and to say, oh my God, if they can do it, like you heard about all these 1 month wonders. That's what they call somebody who goes in and does it in 1 month. And what they do is they have this outrageous momentum. And Mary Kay herself used to always say, fast is easy, slow is hard.
Yeah.
And so they would make us stand up in a chair, then sit back down. And then they make us stand up and then sit a little bit and then a little bit and a little bit and a tiny bit more. And then your legs start to burn. They go, nope, don't sit down yet. A little bit more, a little bit more. And you're just like, your legs are burning. You're like, okay, which one was easier? The standing up and sitting down. And so that was the whole analogy Mary Kay used to give us about, you know what, if you're on a roll, wouldn't you rather just blitz
Exactly.
and do 3 parties a week and just get it done? So I'm just excited. I think I know you're going to be a great director.
Excuse me. I'm just going to be a little bit of a devil's advocate here, because I'm just going to tell you, Sherry, that some of those people that did it in 1 month, guess why? It wasn't their first time. Or they were in Mary Kay before and they sort of knew the concept, but this time they were able to carry it out. So there's no shame. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
So
No,
Just-
but we have our own skeletons we have to fight with in our closets, and we have to work through that. And I think that going to seminar really feeds into bringing them to light and saying, hey, you're worthy. Your dreams aren't failures. And some of the greatest people were had not so big successes, but they walked through the journey. And that was the social media thing. People want to see those little things. They're not necessarily looking for the grand successes because they don't know how to get there.
They want
Just
authenticity.
going.
They say that's the most important thing. They want to be authentic. They want to see you fall down and get back up. They don't want to
Exactly.
make it, they don't want you to look like you were out of the womb as an Olympian. It's like,
Thank you.
oh wait, can I see her work out and sweat a little? You know what I mean? Like they literally, because
Exactly.
the only video my customers ever commented was on the one that I dropped 3 or 4 products and then I got up from my desk and I hit my head. And they, honest to God, that was the only video that got comments. Everyone else does like a thumbs up, but that actually got comments from people going, "You're hysterical," blah blah blah. And I almost didn't post the video because it was so bad. But I'm thinking, well, that taught me I just need to be real.
What
Right.
did Mary Kay say? Fail forward to success. That is a Mary Kay-ism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to say, one of the gals in and I think it was the social media class for the directors, she said, you have to get up and keep trying again. She said, when a toddler is learning how to walk, you don't see him fall down and you go, well, that one's never going to walk. We should just give up on that one. It's like, get up, sweetie, and keep walking, try again. And they fall down again and get up. And she said, that's how you have to do with social media. You're like a toddler learning to walk and you're going to fall and you just got to get back up.
Well, and Samantha Thomas said, when you're doing anything on social media, you pick your 5 favorites and advertise those 5 favorites. Don't flood it with every product in Mary Kay. Express your 5 favorites because that's the authentic part. People will buy what's authentic to you and they'll follow what's authentic to you.
And women also love to help. And some of us, pardon the expression, but some of us suck at asking for help because they're like, no, I don't want to ask my friends for help. Your friends want you to ask them for help because they're like, how can I help you?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when you can say, oh my God, I'm in a goal. I need to get 10 entries into the contest, or, whatever. So, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Well, Sherry, thank you for being transparent. It was so exciting to see you in your red jacket and to see you just so engaged in people. It's just you have you have a remarkable, no, I'm really serious. You have a remarkable talent of making people feel relaxed and making people feel special. And you're gonna be a great director. You just are, I think. But I want to give you an analogy, and I do this all the time, is that this is like a teeter-totter. When faith is high, fear is low. But when we allow fear to get high, what happens? Faith is low. You
Mm-hmm.
can't have them both high. So when people are in a fear mode, it just means that you're putting
Yeah.
you're and you're a woman of faith. So it's like, so what you do is say, you know what? I know that God will honor the chase. I tell myself that all the time.
Yeah.
Just do the work, put my head down and do what I know that I'm supposed to do, and the blessings will come.
Well, I did a lot of things this week. I reduced my jobs to 3 jobs instead of 4. I resigned from one of my positions and I'm moving on, and I'm putting more trust every day into my walk in Mary Kay, or my run, that is.
Good for you, Sherry. You're going to do great. I appreciate you for sharing.
Thanks.
Okay, Miss Melanie, you went to seminar. Do you want to share a little bit about a nugget that you got?
Well, there was so many good stuff, but I think I always fall back on when we have our legacy leaders get up and speak and tell stories about Mary Kay. And then was a unique experience this seminar because we had the Sapphire seminar and the Emerald seminar together. So we got to hear nationals and top directors that we normally don't get to hear. And the #1 director from the Emerald seminar was Kathy Eckhart. And she told the story that, she actually went to meetings where Mary Kay led the meeting. And she said Mary Kay would come in with her date book, and Mary Kay was booking parties along with everybody else. And she would have her date book there, and she would have her party, her appointments double and triple booked. And then she would come into the meeting and she would do the booking count up, where she would say, everybody who has at least 1 booking, stand up. And she said, of course, if you didn't have booking, you probably would just stay home from the meeting. So everybody stands up. And then she said, if you have 2 bookings, stay standing. If you have 3 bookings, remain standing. And when she got to, if you have 5 bookings, remain standing, and everybody who was still standing at that point, she would take her date book and she would distribute those, she would dovetail those extra double and triple booked appointments to the women who had at least 5 bookings already. And that was just like, I mean, what would you do if that was how it worked? You'd come in with 5 bookings, that I would, and of course, then she'd probably change it to 6, but that, because Mary Kay knew that those women who had 5 bookings had done the work to get 5 bookings. Those were the people she wanted to pass her customers to, because she knew they would be well taken care of. I just, that one really stuck with me. And the other thing is, I went back to watch, because I was backstage when Lorinda King gave her speech. So I went back to watch that, and I thought it was so sweet what her husband said. He said, "I have watched you." And first, I became a director the same in 2021, pouted for 2 full years that I did not get to debut on stage. I had forgotten until this that Lorinda King was #1 director in 2021, and she did not get to sit in the throne on stage. And so finally, she got to sit in the throne on stage this year. And her husband pointed that out, and then he said, "I've watched you surrender your shine so that others can shine." He said, "But today is about you shining." And then he said, "You've always given people the opportunity to be their best selves." And, I think those are things that that's what it takes to be a really top, a top director. That just, stuck with me. There was some really good stuff in the director classes that I'm going to share with Lori, because actually neither of you were in my class. So Lori was online.
I know you and Lauren, I need to get on a Zoom so we can share each other's notes, because I got stuff that you didn't and vice versa.
Yep.
So
Can I just dovetail on Melanie's comment about Lorinda King? I attended, but it was not physically. I was on virtual, and I was again impressed with Lorinda King and her group. That group of her $1 million unit, and she said they weren't even near their goal. When was it, like May or something? And they all decided, no, we're going to do this. And then to see all of, now see, this is probably something that really was driven home to me, because I got to watch it on the screen. I got to see it like up close and personal. But the diversity in her $1 million unit, and the confidence in each and every single one of those people, whether it did not matter whether they were brand new or consult, it didn't matter what level. They could have been, an offspringing senior director, or they could have been a consultant. They each had a confidence that I felt like she must have drilled those women. I mean, they were obviously practiced, every single one of them. And some of them, I mean, from the looks of them, you would not think, I mean, I would not have picked out those people and said, that one's going to be part of my $1 million unit, and she is going to shine at Summit. I wouldn't have done it. But those people, I don't know how she trained them or something. Somehow she did build into them the confidence that they were the best that they could be. I mean, that was very, it was something that was really driven home to me.
I thought it was interesting. We ran into Lorinda after the pink party, the Royals and Pink party, and I didn't have, one of us asked her, I know it wasn't me, it was probably Kathy, how, when are you going to be national? And she said, well, I have 2 and 2, which means she needs 2 more first line directors and 2 more second line directors. Well, she had at least a half a dozen DIQs first line and another half dozen of second line DIQs. So we can I expect to see her national very soon.
yeah,
I
she's
mean, I
really
know,
close to crossing the finish line.
but yeah. Very, it
And what I
was
think
very
she does,
exciting.
oh, I'm sorry.
That's all I was.
I was saying one of the things that she does, Lori, is because I got to spend some time with her up in Sacramento because that's where she's from. And so when she was up in Sacramento and did that event at Sac State, she was talking about camaraderie. And it's like a baseball team. When you win the World Series, you need a phenomenal catcher, but you also need a phenomenal pitcher. And if first base can't catch an incredibly crazy ball being thrown at him, I don't know what you're gonna do. But you also need the person who brings the water bottles out. You need somebody who's going to be there to bring the uniforms. I mean, it literally takes a team to pull off anything. Now, the pitcher doesn't come out and say, "Well, I'm the most important person here." And first base is like, "No, I'm pretty sure without me, we wouldn't have won." And then the catcher's like, "Well, gang, without me." So there is no one more position that's more important than the others. They're all super key. And we all come to the table with different strengths. I mean, you look at Lori and Melanie and I, we all have different strengths. We all have different capabilities. Melanie could probably clean our clock on most of the social media stuff. But that's what makes this business amazing is that even just Lori and Melanie and I can share ideas and it's they're always different. It's a different perspective. We talk about contests with you guys and we're like, well, what do you guys think about this? And they go, I don't know. I think maybe we should try this. And that's what makes Dr. Lorinda King's message, I think, so key is that God put you here for a reason. So shine where you are because you all have gifts and talents. You all have gifts and talents and use those gifts and talents because most of us go to the grave with only 10% of our God-given talents ever used, which is sad. We really need to really step out. Let me share really quick. So there were two different speeches that really impacted me. One was Kimberly Copeland, who gave like the top 7 things to do, which I'll share at another time. But Sonia Paez, we don't normally get to hear from. And her daughter Kimberly Paez is amazing. But she says you have to turn comfort into commitment. She said, yes, we can all be comfortable, but she said, then you're going to go week after week and month after month of just being comfortable. And so she says, that's when you need to get into commitment. She said, success is a decision. When your why is big enough, your obstacles go away. And I know several of you have said, well, how do you figure out what your why is? Call your director and say, I need to figure this out because I really want to move forward. Like Sherry Tully, she really wants to become a director. When she gets crystal clear on her why, which she probably already is, but when she gets crystal clear with her why, then any obstacle that could be thrown at her isn't going to matter because she will be so laser focused on doing what she needs to do. So activity is a cure for everything. That's what Sonia Paya says. She says, literally get into motion. Don't overthink it. Don't go, oh my gosh, is my starter kit organized? Go do a facial. Just get into action. She said, it's not about me, it's about we. And she said, millennials and Gen Zs, they want more than a job, they want a purpose. They want a company that's got a purpose. And so that's when you can look at Mary Kay as the mission statement from the company. You can look at the Mary Kay Foundation and what all the things that they're doing. Sonia Pai has also shared a couple of things. She said, embrace change. Change is inevitable, so embrace it. And she says the Gen Zs and millennials, they want to travel and they want to impact lives. And not a lot of other jobs will promote that. So are we sharing that? Are we saying to people, do you want to travel? Do you want to impact lives? Do you want to be part of a purpose? Those are the 3 questions we can ask at a sharing appointment. Okay. She says, you attract what you're thinking. Now think about that, you guys. If you're having stinking thinking, that means you're attracting stinking thinking. So if you're saying nobody's, I literally had a consultant about 2 weeks ago say to me, Diane, with the economy, nobody's buying and nobody's booking. And I said, well, it's really funny because I went to Sacramento just 2 days ago. This was like 2 weeks ago. And I said, all 5 of the women I faced or pre-profiled, all 4 women, all use face wipes. 100% of the family, the mom, 60, the daughter, and the 2 other girls, they all use face wipes and soap. Nobody used skincare. And I thought, this is going to be a go give facial or a go give party where you go and give a party and nothing else happens. And I thought, you know what? That's okay. They were super sweet, super friendly. I sold $740. You could have knocked me off of my chair. When they go, she goes, well, maybe I really want to get the skincare. I think I'll do the $299. I'm like, okay, tell me what you want. And I walked out of there just kind of going, wow, don't prejudge. Just know that you attract whatever you're thinking. So be really careful what you're thinking. And then Sonia Pius says, I kept going even when I didn't see results. I trusted the process. I saw all these other women around me doing it. And I thought, if they can do it, I can do it. So even when she didn't see the results, she kept going. She said, be courageous. And then this was her last quote. If you do what you have to do, when you have to do it, then you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. I'll say that again really quick. If you do what you have to do, meaning like making booking calls and doing parties and sharing the opportunity, if you do what you have to do when you have to do it, then you can do what you want when you want to do it. And I know Melanie, Laura, and I have had so much stuff going on in our personal lives in the last 2 years between family death and just a lot of stuff going on. And you know what? It's grateful when I can go and visit my daughter for 4 days and come home to $700 in reorders. That's because I've done the work. You know what I mean? We've done the parties, we've done all that. So, how to Mary Kay make facial wipes? That's too funny. I would totally believe that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Did anybody else attend seminar that I somehow missed? Did anybody else go to seminar and want to share? I know that Tammy Mann, she's got her daughter's got strep throat. They're at the ER right now because their daughter's pretty sick. And then Carrie, of course, has got COVID. So she and Q are feeling kind of yucky. So they will be on next week to share. So let's go over some really quick announcements of events. I want to make sure you guys are kind of in the loop for what's going on. It is all posted on Mary Kay in Touch, not on Mary Kay in Touch, I'm sorry, on our unit Facebook page. But let me go ahead and go in here really quick and share some things. And Melanie and Lori, please pipe in if I leave anything out. So if you click on this first folder called Live Local Events, the two green ones are Sacramento. So I will be in Sacramento. Now we're going to have two tables probably going on simultaneously. Skincare and makeup for the makeover contest at one table, and then skincare and spa treatments at the other table. If you want to send someone and you cannot go, call your director and let me know. So this is in Sacramento on Monday the 11th. And then the next time I'm going to Sacramento is on the following, oops, that's the wrong flyer. Jump to the next one. There it is, Friday the 22nd. So Sacramento is the 11th and the 22nd. You guys can pull these off boards. And then I'm going to Martinez on the 21st and the 7th. So one's a Thursday, one's a Monday. No, excuse me. Both of the Martinez are Thursdays. And I apologize because this is also the red event, but I picked this date like a month and a half ago before Janice announced when the red event is. So if you are a red jacket, you are definitely going to want to be at Janice's event and you will be honored as a red at the event. But if you've got local people, now gang, same thing. If you want to get people, notice it says up here spot treatment or skincare and color. So figure out what you want to, if you want to have entries, you can totally do that. And then of course we've got this really fun promotion. So this is what we'll be doing all year. When you order 300 by the 15th, you will get to jump on a Zoom, and it is of course recorded, but it will be a Zoom meeting with amazing trainers that are going to give us tips that you actually can implement that day, like things. So Katie Goldstein is a $1 million sales director. She's going to get tips on how to grow your business, and everyone's personality is different. She's younger and fun, and I don't know her very well. I only met her on one trip, but it'll be on Tuesday, August 19th. So put that on your date book. It is at 6 o'clock. So it's right during our early training, and it's about 40 minutes long. So you might miss the first few minutes of the meeting, but you'll be sent the Zoom link. Now, if you do 600 by the 15th, then you're going to get special recognition. You'll be into a drawing for cash or drawing for prizes. So 300 by the 15th is the goal, and you guys can take advantage of that. If anybody has any questions, type it in the chat. Then I want to do a quick shout out to all of you who did the summer, or not the summer, excuse me, the fall and holiday PCP. These ladies all had the fall and holiday PCP catalog sent out. I don't know what the free sample is going to be, but so smart to send it out. Whether you send it out to 5 people or 150 people or whatever, I want to do a quick shout out to all of these ladies for doing the preferred customer program. You get to order early. You get to take advantage of all of those extra perks. So and Star Consultants get to order early as well. Okay. So if you come down here to August 2025, you're going to see this is the lineup for this week. So we've got skincare with Janice tomorrow. Now, if you guys have got a neighbor, or like Sherry Tully's got all those little minis, if you've got a couple minis, even a mother-daughter mini, like you've got the daughter for the Mary Kay skincare, and then the mom's on the 3D or repair, you could literally run a mini over to their house, grab a charcoal mask sample and a microderm sample, and say, here, will you jump on tomorrow? I need you, or better yet, use these words, I need to borrow your face. So Hilda might have neighbors and she's like, hey, can I borrow your face virtually tomorrow? I need you on as a training model. People will go, wait, I want to be a training model. And there's going to be free product giveaways. It's on Zoom. Here's all the Zoom stuff. And it was also translated into Spanish. So for those of you who Maybe you have a guest on that prefers Spanish. Here's the flyer for in Espanol. So that's coming up tomorrow night. Then on Thursday, Katrina Harris. She's a Bay Area girl. She lived in Oakland and worked for the city of Oakland and nonprofit, then moved to Brentwood, then married a gentleman. He is a international pastor. They travel all over the world. And so she's going to be speaking this Thursday. So you guys, here's the deal. Katrina, when she joined, she had over $90,000 of credit card and educational debt. I think everybody can probably relate to her story. She's a powerhouse. She's amazing, all 4'11" of her, or however tall she is. She's not very tall. But please get people on. Janice is going to give away at least 5 free e-starts. And so Katrina is going to be absolutely incredible. Then the next week, Monday, of course, is the red event. If you are a red jacket, you will be invited to that. Then on Wednesday, I love these two. These guys are like, I don't know, freaking frack. They are the two makeup artists from the company. This one's going to be all about eyes. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, every consultant should be on here because she's going to talk about eye shape. If you have a hooded eye like mine where the skin comes toward the lashes, how do you do eyeshadow? If they've got an Asian shaped eye, how do you do it theirs? If they have a deep set eye, what colors should you avoid? What colors should you use? How do you apply it? So I would probably tell my customer they can have any one eyeshadow for attending. Say you're going to fall in love with colors. So just for attending, if you type in the chat and let me know that you're going to be on. Now, they're giving away over $400 of Kate Spade and Mary Kay product. And again, these are always translated in Espanol. So there's the Espanol one, and then here's the English one. That is August the 13th, Wednesday night. Then that Thursday, Lynette Tate, who is the national of Jamie Taylor, she's now a senior national sales director, she'll be speaking. Super neat lady. That's on Thursday, August 14th. Then the following week, Janice is doing a workshop on 10 ways to network. So she'll talk a little bit about chambers of commerce, booth events, bridal fairs, all kinds of different ideas to network your business. That's on August the 20th. That's not for guests, it's consultants only. And she is crazy enough to have that translated, the poor lady who's going to translate for her. And then Carmen Jones, who is just very dynamic, very strong in her faith, really neat lady. She'll be sharing on August the 21st. So that's a sharing event. Now, you definitely want to mark this on your calendar. This is, okay, for guests because these two young ladies, our sisters, they're going to start wrapping and merchandising our regular line product. They're going to give you ideas to merchandise satin hands and satin lips and everything. So you do not want to miss this, and they'll give you a lot of really creative ideas. So that's on August 27th. So those are all the events coming up for the month. So you definitely want to take advantage of those. So I'm going to do a quick segue. Did I miss any events, Lori and Melanie?
I have one. If you have anyone on the Central Coast, I would say between Paso Robles and Santa Maria, we have this Saturday, 10 o'clock, we have a guest event, makeover event in downtown San Luis Obispo. So,
Really?
yes. So I will be there and let me see if you would like me to, I could try to share my, let me see, I have it on. If you want. But
I
yeah,
have a
it's
friend who lives down there. I might reach out to her and ask her if she wants to go.
yeah, it's
And
it
you would have to unshare so that she could share.
if you want to see my flyer, or I
Yes.
can send it to you so you can put it up on boards, or we could do both. Okay, let me
Okay.
share. So there is. So yeah, it's this Saturday, August 9th, 10 to 2, 10 to 11:30 is facials, and then we're doing consultant training after that. And we are going to have a break for lunch. We're going to order in taco plates, I think, but those are an extra cost, but otherwise it's free.
Okay, great. So if you guys know consultants down there that want to go to the consultant workshop and go to watch or whatever, Mary Kay used to always say, let them learn while you earn. So bring models. That's how you make money.
Yep.
Thank you, Melanie, for
So,
sharing that. I greatly
yep,
appreciate that.
absolutely.
Okay, so perfect segue into our quick training topic tonight, and that is going to be the makeover event. So many of you know that Mary Kay's got a makeover contest. So we want to just talk to each and every one of you about, so how are you going to utilize this? How are you going to really take advantage of this thing? So if you would like to grow your clientele, if you would like to make a lot of money this month, if you want to strengthen your customers, If you want to have some extra fun, then listen. If that's none of those are of interest to you, then feel free to jump off. So the company announced this makeover contest. The dates are July 15th through August 31st. Okay. And they are going to, the company will choose 5 winners, and there's all these details that go with this, but just so you know, the 5 people will, the client, 5 of them will win a $5,000 Visa gift card. If your customer wins, let's say Hilda's customer wins, then Hilda's customer gets a $5,000 Visa gift card and Hilda gets a $5,000 Visa gift card. So there is the added benefit of you having a client win, you win too. Okay. Then these are the looks. So what I did is I laminated these 2 sheets. So I am literally just carrying around with me everywhere I go this. This has got the promotion on one side that talks about the 5,000, and then it has the 6 looks. So I said this to a lady today. I said, well, some of them are pretty minimal makeup, because that's really what's in right now is like the no makeup look. I said, in fact, this mauve haze is 1 shadow and 1 blush. I said, and then the Island Breeze is only 1 shadow and 1 blush. Golden Hour, Berry Noir, and are only 2 colors. So I said, it's really, really a very simple type of look. And so I talked to them about doing this. So let's talk a little bit about strategy. And this is where it's going to be like Melanie and Lori are going to be throwing in ideas as well. So let's talk about how to really utilize this makeover contest to your advantage. And I only want to take a couple minutes because I wanted to show you guys a quick PowerPoint on some upcoming things as well. So one thing is deciding you want to be in the contest. So number one is, do I want to do the contest? And you guys can just write these down really, really quick. So that's a decision. Number 2 is, how many people do you want to enter? When they did the makeover contest last year, I was determined to have a winner. I thought some lady in California has to win. Like, we can't keep having all these people in New York, New Jersey, Texas, Oklahoma win. Some California woman's got to win. She might as well be my client, right? So I entered 23 people in the last makeover contest. That's more than I'd ever entered in any other contest. Unfortunately, none of them won. But so what I did is I decided, yes, I'm going to be in. My goal was to have 25 people entered. I took first my PCP, my preferred customer program list, and I thought, who do I think would win or would have fun? And I started circling names: Katie, Hilda, Rebecca, Rhonda, Katrina. And I started just literally taking my PCP list, and I thought, her. Then I thought, who is not a customer, maybe a sharp woman I've met through the chamber or a church or something that I'm thinking, maybe this is my ticket into getting her to get pampered. So I had 2 really sharp neighbors here in my brand new neighborhood. And what they always go by walking their dogs, and they wave and they say hi. And they're both just beautiful women, probably early 50s. And so I have both of their phone numbers. And so I called them. I said, hey, this is going to sound crazy, but I'm determined to have a local woman win this contest. Would you be up for doing a makeover and a quick color look? I said, it doesn't cost anything, and you could win whatever the contest prize was. And she goes, yeah, that sounds like fun. What do I do? Now, you want to have something set up. So when they say, what do I do? You don't go, oh, I don't know, I'll call you back. So what I did is I took my date book and I thought, okay, I could host 2 or 3 things here at my house. Like, I could host a Saturday event here at my house and do 10 a.m., 10, and then do like 10, maybe 11:45, and then another one at 2. And what I would do is I would only take the max of 6 people at a time. And I could set up a plastic table and do 3 people down each side, and you're going to do them all the same. Now, what I also did is I laminated these looks. So these looks are on Mary Kay and Touch, and I just laminated these. So when somebody says, oh, I'll do golden hour, I literally hand her the sheet, and the instructions on how to do it are on here. It says, put gold status here, do this color here, put this on your cheeks, line your eyes with brown. So I don't have to tell them what to do. I'm like, here you go, here's your instructions. That way you can really do 6 people at a time. Okay. Then I put the looks together. I just got, and I know Lori and Melanie did a little different, but I just got this display tray from Mary Kay, and I have each look. So like, this is a look. This is one of the looks. That shadow with that blush. These 2 shadows with this blush is a look. This shadow with this blush is a look. These 2 with that are a look. That top row with that is a look. These 3 with that blush is the same, is a different look. So I just did this. And of course, I had told them, you can't double dip your eyes. You got to keep using more sponge tips, and you can get all kinds of bulk sponge tips on, Amazon or whatever. But it was really, really fun. And so they take pictures, and you've got to look at their pictures, because sometimes they don't realize they're not in good lighting. And so the picture doesn't come out as good. But help them pick a picture. Now I'm going to tell you, I talked to Kathy Caliber, who had an entry, and she said, Diane, one of the key parts of it is knowing what to put in the comments. So we'll talk about that just in a second. But well, here's what I did find is I have customers that were on skincare and maybe a little bit of makeup, like they buy mascara from me. All of a sudden, guess what? They're on CC cream, they're on primer, they're on our mascara, they're on shadow, they're on. So you could offer them a $10 gift certificate if you want to, or you could offer them a little compact mini for coming. Say, well, when you come, you'll receive a gift from me just for coming. Give them an empty compact. Well, guess what they're going to do with the empty compact? They're going to put product in it or offer them a free shadow. But I'm going to tell you, so if you're in my unit or Lori's or Melanie's, we are doing the company promotion. But then we're also going to do a unit promotion where we'll put all of our 3 units together and we'll draw like 2 winners from that group. And then I'm doing just my customers. So my customers have a chance of winning 3 different contests: the company, our units together, and then just my customers. And for my customers, I'll probably give away maybe a brush set and a roll up bag or something, or $100 gift certificate. Do y'all see how that makes sense? Now, I'm also going to extend mine till September, but I'm not telling them that because the company one ends August 31st and you want to have a sense of urgency. So, anybody have, because I really want to show you this other PowerPoint, is anybody have a quick question or comment on the makeover contest? What to say? And if you, I'm going to be honest with you guys, a text message that goes, hey girl, blah, 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 that isn't me. That doesn't sound like me. And so what I'd rather do is I'd rather call Hilda and say, Hilda, it's Diane. I hope you're sitting down because I have something super important to ask you. It has to do with a model contest that I want to win and I think you could win it. Can you call me back right away? I've got details. So it's like women are curious. If Hilda got a message like that, she'd be going, what is she talking about? A model makeover contest. I don't know about that. And I say, I really, and I'm telling my people, I mean, and I'm not saying this to be funny. I really think they could win. They don't want everybody to look like 19 with no pores. They want people to look like real people. So I will tell you guys, if you have a set number and say, I've committed to having 25 entries, and I really, or you don't have to share that number with them if you don't want to, but say, I really am committed to doing this and I want to have a local winner and I want it to be you. What do you say? It doesn't cost anything and you're going to get entered in the company contest, our unit contest. Um, Lisa says, I do the same. She goes, I told my sushi waitress, that a girl. And you know what? For bright colors, I would, like if they know what look they're gonna do. So like if I'm at a skincare class and I show them all these colors and she goes, "Oh, I love this." I said, "Then wear something that's neutral. Wear something that's either golds or browns or greens or something so that it's gonna go with this look." Does that make sense? Just have fun with this, you guys. I will tell you, you will sell a lot of product and you are gonna have a blast. Lori and Melanie, anything you want to add to that? Anything you want to share?
I just want to follow up and say that, Karen Reidel encouraged us to do the 3
Subject
segment.
notebook.
Okay. And so I went through my section 1 and I put, okay, MC, all the ones who have an MC I'm going to contact them first.
Right.
Because, we have a limited time on this. So,
Right.
Otherwise, what you said was great. And I want to make sure there's time for Cleta. I'm guessing.
Right. So Melanie, anything
Yeah.
you want to add?
I just wanted to say I had printed out some flyers and I just was carrying with me while I was traveling and I'm sitting in the airport lounge and hey,
what was on your flyer, Melanie?
it was just the
rules of the contest?
Yeah, the looks on one page.
Oh.
And then the details of the contest, you can win. It had that on
like
one page.
What Diane had, like that.
Yeah, and the other side, I think I got from you too. It had the gal and the cash spread out and $5,000.
Yeah, this is one of like 4. So if you guys go on
Yeah.
boards and you go on here, you'll see different options of what you can use. You can go and you could use this picture, but you could also use this one that offers like hostess credit. This one says, if you come, receive a free glamour gift when you host a makeover session with 2 friends or get brushes. You can use any of these.
Yeah.
The bottom line
And
is just get the word out.
Yeah, I just had the one that had 1, pick a look, 2, contact your beauty consultant, 3, enter the contest. I mean,
Okay.
So, but yeah, I was handing those out while I was.
And you know what I
out
just
and
thought of,
about.
Melanie? You just made me think is I should make a copy of this tonight. And then put little, how like you see like people have like call me for babysitting, and then they have those little strips down below with a name and a number. I'm going to make one of those tonight because the local coffee shop I'll be at tomorrow, they let us post stuff. And I think I'll put on here, contact me for details on how to win. and then I'll put my name and phone number, and I'll probably put like 8 or 9 of those little things that people can tear off.
Mm-hmm.
You never know, because somebody might, because it says Mary Kay on here. So I think you guys just have to decide. So it's not too late to get in on this boat, guys. So, and here's the
Yep.
deal. I will be in Martinez. I'll be in Martinez twice. And I'll be in Sacramento twice. So if you're in either of those areas, you can of course bring models to those, right? All right. So without further ado, we're not going to have a lot of time to show this. So I'm unfortunately not going to be able to show the whole thing, but I do want to show you just a little bit of this. There is a lot of exciting things going on. This is when you're going to want to have a pen and paper. Um, so these are some things. Can you guys all see this August thing now? Okay. So these are things. So these earrings are a lot cuter in person and they're a lot bigger in person. When I saw this, I thought, man, those things are so tiny. They're not that tiny. But for any of you that did 600 last month, you are on target to earn these earrings. And you have to do 600 again this month. Of course, you also get the marketing prize that I'm doing with all the samples and all the fun stuff. But when you do it 2 months in a row, you'll win these earrings. So they're going to launch something, a new prize every other month. So you'll be able to take advantage of that. Um, okay, so now this is really cool. This necklace is absolutely beautiful. So Sherry Tully and Carrie McCurdy and anybody else who decides they want to go for directorship, Hilda, whoever, when you become a sales director from debuting, meaning you're done, August 1st through December 31st, you have to finish by December 31st at the latest. You win this beautiful Brian Anthony B necklace that he specifically designed it just for Mary Kay. And it is a beautiful, beautiful necklace. You'll get it presented to you on stage at Leadership Conference. Okay. Now, if your director has 2 offspring, so if Sherry and Carrie finish, or Pawn and Sherry, or whatever, however many, if we have 2 or more debut, then I and the new offspring directors get to go to a hat bar experience at Leadership where you get a beautiful cowboy hat and they let you customize it with crazy stuff, feathers and God only knows everything you could possibly imagine. Okay, DIQ has changed. So you have 2 options. You can complete DIQ in 4 months. You still have to meet the 18,000, but this is what you need to do. In month 1, you have to do a minimum of 3,600. Month 2, it's 4,000. Month 3, month 4, it's 4,500. But notice that those do not total 18, they total 16. So as long as you make up somewhere in there, you've got to hit still the minimum 18,000. Or if you want to do it in 3 months, that's what these totals are 36, 4, 45, but you still have to do the 13,500. Just want to make sure you guys know that those qualifications did change. Now, here's what's super cool. When Sherry and Pa and Carrie and anybody else who decides they want to go for directorship, when you debut as a brand new director, you get a Amy Keistenberg. Now, I didn't know who that was, but it's like when they had, I mean, I know who Kate Spade is and I know like some of them, but some of these designers, like when I won a Jack London bag, I'm like, who's Jack London? Is that his name? Is it? Oh no, Ted Baker, not Jack. Ted Baker. They go, you want a Ted Baker bag? I'm like, who's Ted Baker? It's like a $350 purse. I don't even know who Ted Baker is. But Amy Keisenberg is a new hot up and coming designer. You get this beautiful shoulder bag, which I think is just stunning. You win this beautiful Olive and Piper, which is another brand, pearl jewelry set of this necklace and the matching earrings. You get that as a debut gift from the company. You become a director, you get this. Is that crazy? I think that's crazy, but I'm super excited. Can't wait to see each and every one of you guys get that. All right. This is a really big deal. And I really want you guys, if you don't know how to do this, maybe next week I can have Melanie take a segment and Melanie, you can show us next week ideas on how to utilize this. But this is a really big deal. So there was a list put out by Forbes. It's called the 2025 Best Brands for Social Impact. Okay. They listed 3,900 brands. Okay. Now, Mary Kay ranked number 9. We were the only skincare and we were the only skincare and cosmetic company in the top 15 and the only direct selling. So it says the Mary Kay opportunity category to promote this amazing achievement. Download the back to school digital images. They're giving us all kinds of crazy ideas, but this was a really big deal. So we ranked number 9 out of 3,900 brands. And there's a whole thing about the ranking and how it all works. So please, you guys, let people know that we ranked in the top 10 out of 3,900 brands. That's really crazy. Now, please put this down. August 15th, everybody write this down. Hilda, everybody start writing. August 15th is National Relaxation Day. So maybe you do a special on all clinical solutions, or you do a special on satin hands and satin lips, say for National Relaxation Day. And August 15th, I believe, is a Wednesday. No, it's a Friday. So August 15th is a Friday. So maybe on Thursday, you get the word out and say, tomorrow is National Relaxation Day. I would do a build up. Say, did you guys know August 15th is National Relaxation Day? Stay tuned for great sales, great specials. And so it'll talk about maybe they want to purchase their favorite body care. How many of your customers are not on our body care, right? That's another way to help you become a star consultant. You could do satin hands, buy satin hands, get satin lips at half price, or something along those lines. So that's a really, really big deal. I want to make sure you guys all saw that designation. Now, we had a little mixed review on this, you guys. Melanie, Lori, and I all tried this, and we didn't have a lot of success. So there's a brand new foundation finder tool. All you do is go on marykay.com, click on tips and trends, and it'll come up and say, did you want to find your foundation shade? So this morning, I pulled my hair back into a ponytail in front of a window, no makeup on, and it scanned my skin, and it said, I'm very light CC cream and Ivory 100. Well, I wear Ivory 140. Ivory 100 looks like whiteout on me. And I found in talking to my friends, as well as Melanie and Lori, it scanned their skin, and it was kind of going toward the light side as well. If you put down you want sheer coverage, it'll give you a color for silky setting. If you say you want light coverage, it'll give you recommend CC cream. So you have to say that you want medium coverage, which will give you then foundation, because it'll ask you, do you want luminous or matte? But this is super, super fun, you guys. When they get it working, I don't know that I would promote this yet, but try it on yourself. Hilda, some of you guys try it on yourself. Go on marykay.com, click on tips and trends, and it'll pop right up. So try it tomorrow with no makeup on. That's cheating. And you want to be in front of a bright window. But let me know. And if you get a pretty accurate reading, then let us know what you did different, because we didn't I don't know how to say that. Our results didn't come out the way we were hoping. All right. So now let's talk real quickly. We're almost done here with stars. So when you are a 4-quarter star, remember I talked about how you don't want to miss? This is why you don't want to miss. I'm going to take all the 4-quarter stars up to the lake house. But also, if you are a consistent 4-quarter star, you win these beautiful designer sunglasses. That's the first prize. If your points average out to beat the ruby level for the whole year, you get this beautiful coin purse wristlet thing. The next level up is this smaller purse. The next level up, emerald, is this pearl handled purse. And then the last level is this all-star pearl. And remember how I talked to you guys about, you could be a sapphire in orders, but you get 3 great start qualified recruits. All of a sudden you're in this category. But you have to be a 4-quarter star to earn these prizes. So you can't, if you miss the first quarter, you're out. So this is the most important quarter of the year. So if you guys have questions on that, please reach out to your director. She will help you strategize and figure all that out. Okay, when you are a star consultant, for some of you who've been a star consultant for a while, when you hit that magical 56 star quarters, right, you will get this beautiful all diamond and gold ladder with a gemstone in there, and it's all surrounded in small diamonds. But this is like your circle of honor pin, and wear it with pride. So this is anybody who's been a star consultant 56 quarters. So it's a brand new pin. Super, super cool. Okay, so now this is, you guys, they're really doing a lot for promoting directorship this year. Now there are 6 $1,000 bonuses you can get as a new director. So you in your first 12 months, not even counting your commissions. This is in addition to your commissions, in addition to how much you sell. They're going to give you $6,000 in bonuses. I mean, gang, if that doesn't excite you, you have to figure out what you're going to do. Maybe buy all brand new living room furniture, buy a new dining room set, go to Hawaii, whatever. I don't know. You'll find something fun to do with it. Okay. This is the first time the company is doing this. And it's for anybody who finished by June. They get to go to have that retreat with Ryan Rogers. I can't wait to be a fly in the wall. Here's a worksheet. I'm kind of going fast right now, but this is the worksheet we can give you that you can say, how much do you have in? This is what title do you want? Do you want to be a senior consultant by a certain date? Red jacket. We're working on having 13 reds by September 15th. So if it's your dream and your desire to be a red jacket, maybe you have a team of 0 or a team of 1, just reach out to me and say, Don, I want to be one of our 13 to help us reach our goal. And then I'm going to do something really special for those 13 stars have some kind of a celebration or something. So I want to let you guys know about that. These are the beautiful prizes for next year. This is, of course, the diamond B, the diamond ring. It's a huge amethyst. And this is still 24 Great Start qualifieds, which means they come in with a 6 or cumulative 6 in their first 4 months. This ring is at 45,000 retail. Is that correct? 45,000 retail cumulatively, which adds up to about 1,800 wholesale a month to achieve that goal, just so you know. And then, of course, here's the other rings for 500,000, the queen and the runner-ups, which is super, super fun. The only other thing I want to show, of course, the top director trip is Switzerland. I'm super excited about going to Switzerland. That's going to be an amazing trip. But this is what I wanted to end with. So this is the makeover contest. Notice the dates, the makeover look video with multiple shade ranges per look. That's another reason to use this contest. Makeover look face charts, those things I showed you I laminated. You've got the Mirror Me app, so you can try different colors on them, but it's very simple. Choose a look. First of all, get a girlfriend that wants to do it. Choose a look, recreate that look, and have her share it. Super, super simple. And there's even some extra details on here. Here are the entry dates, the preliminary judging, and then the contest summary. And it tells you exactly what they're looking for. And I would be really careful of the words they use to post it. And again, here's all the looks, which I don't want to spend time with. And then, of course, here's all the cards the directors can win. We don't have time for all this stuff.
Diane, isn't there something that's supposed to be written on that look in order before it gets submitted?
Yes, they're supposed to type in, and I don't have it right in front of me, Sherry, but I will type it in. I will post it on the top of our Facebook page.
Thank you.
Okay, and then you guys, these are the last two things I want to share with you guys. Clinical Solutions Retinol 0.5 is on sale right now because, as you already all know, they've lowered the price to 100 because they are going to be launching later this fall Retinol 0.3. My comment was like, I was a little like, what? You can't change this. And I was like digging my heels in the ground. And then I talked to Lance, our biochemist, and he basically said to me, Diane, 0.3 and 0.5, when you look at the actual results over 12 weeks, he said it was minimal, if any. He goes, it was such a small, small, small a change in their skin. He said the reason why 0.3 is great is there's no retinization period. They can start using it full strength day one. It also has a 2.5 to 3 year shelf life, where if they use the retinol 0.5, it is not. So if they use retinol 0.5, it has a 18-month shelf life. So if you've had it on your shelf for 4 or 5 months and they buy it, they're not getting a lot of time to use the product. So I'm hoping they keep facial milk. We're talking to the company about that right now. Right now, it's also being phased out. So if you've got customers that love facial milk for just sensitive skin, definitely you want to have them be a part of that. All right, I know we went over by a few minutes, but I just want to tell you guys how I wanted to share all that information with you. The repair a la carte pieces will not change price, but the repair set is going up $10. So that's a great reason for you guys to reach out. And if they need 1 or 2 items, they're probably going to want to get the set. So just to recap, Hilda, congratulations on your 3 bookings. Melanie had 2 bookings. Lori had a new face and 369 in sales. Sandy had 300 all in reorders. Congratulations. And Lisa had 261 in sales. So congratulations to each and every one of you. Please do not go to bed tonight without knowing how much you have in for the quarter. I want you guys to know that because you do not want to miss this 4-quarter thing. And Janice, our national, I forgot to post it, I apologize, is doing one of the largest virtual star parties ever with 2 other nationals, and it is going to be epic. It is going to be massive and huge. And I think we'll probably just get everybody over here to my house and we'll have a party.
You know the date yet?
Janice's star party, I do not. I think it says September 18th, but I could be. Melanie, do you happen to know what it is? Okay, I will make sure that I find that out today and I will post it on our unit Facebook page so that everybody can see it, okay? All right, you guys. So your 24-hour challenge is to find out exactly how many you have in, how much you have in for star, and then I want you to text your director that number. Then I want you to text your director, what is your goal for entries in the makeover contest? So if your goal is to enter 10, 15, 20, I'll tell you, if you enter 20, you're going to have some seriously amazing sales and some super excited customers. And chances of them winning our unit contest, if you got 20 entries, is pretty high. So just saying. All right. All right, you guys, please let me know if you're coming to Martinez or if you're coming to Sacramento. I'd love to see you at either of those
Or
locations.
San Luis Obispo.
And San Luis Obispo. And also want to do a quick shout out to Janine Whitus. She ended up in our top 5 of our unit. She did the company's princess court. So I have a beautiful ring, Janine, for you that was presented. So congratulations. I'll make sure that I get that to you. It's a beautiful ring, and you have your certificate from Janice from doing over 20,000 retail last year. So congratulations. Very proud of you, sweetie. All right, you guys, let me know if you're coming to Martinez, San Luis Obispo, or Sacramento. And remember, 2 challenges. How much do you have in for your star, and how many women do you want to enter in the contest? The contest is free. All right, you guys, have a wonderful evening. Good night, everybody.